Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about how to negotiate like a pro. We're going to be going over 3 key things on how to negotiate like a pro. Research, a win-win situation, and solving a problem. And this relates to not only real estate, but any type of business. So what you want to do, the first thing you want to do is research. I'll give you a perfect example on the research part of it. When we purchased the 41 units, we researched how much the owner of that property, how much he paid for it, and how long he's owned it. This was around 2017-18, and when we were purchasing it, and he had bought it in 2012, I believe, 2013. So he's owned it for 4 or 5 years, he's got some equity in it, and he purchased it for a whole lot less than what he was selling it. Bought it at the courthouse step as a foreclosure. Right? So we knew we had some equity, we had some meat on the bone that he could leave on the table and that we could negotiate down from, right? So the purchase price, the sales price that he wanted to sell the property for was 1.6 million. Around that time, that was, to me, was more of a retail price. I needed to buy it at a wholesale price, like I talked about in my other videos. You want to buy real estate at a discounted price. In case anything goes south, you're still buying at a discounted price, and the market will kind of correct itself. So I knew that with that research, I wanted to be somewhere around the $1.3 million mark, purchase price. So what did I do? I said, I put in an LOI for $1 million. So I knew that if the initial first offer usually never gets accepted. So I put in $1 million knowing that he would come down. Thinking on how he was going to come down and then how I was going to go up. What I wanted to get was to the $1.3 million mark, right? So back and forth we went. We agreed on 1.3 million, which was my number. But none of that would have happened if I would have researched it first. So one of the best ways you can negotiate is knowing what you're negotiating. Researching at the property, when they bought it, all that. And then that brings me down to my second little bullet point. What you want to do is not be so aggressive to where it's only one-sided that you win. You want to have what they call a win-win situation. In this situation, I purchased it at 1.3 million, and he wins because he sold it at 1.3 million. He was in it in about $800,000. He was already going to make $500,000 or $600,000. If he would have said no, I'm only selling it for 1.6 million, then it's not really a win-win for both of us. He gave from his side, or she gave from their side, and in this particular case it was a he, but they gave on their side and I gave on my side, and we met in the middle. That's usually how you get a deal done. Win-win situation. If you're dealing with a seller, or vice versa, if you're a seller and you have a buyer and they're a pain in the ass from the beginning, run, because that deal is never going to get done, or if it does get done, it will make your hair gray or pull out your hair, as you can kind of see. So in the beginning, if you start negotiating and they're pretty decent negotiators on your side, then you'll be able to get the deal done. Okay, so that was my second bullet point. Third bullet point, and I think this is, to me, one of the biggest ones, is how I've talked about before, is solving a problem. I'll give you a perfect example. We are under contract right now to buy a retail strip center. Probably by the time this video comes out, it'll probably be sold already. But this particular retail strip center has a major problem. The typical things that happen in real estate. Somebody owns real estate. Unfortunately, they pass away. They get older, and they leave it to. They don't have a trust or a will or anything, and they leave it to heirs. Well, the heirs don't really want to deal with the problem. They're not real estate professionals. They're not in the real estate industry. So now it becomes, especially if it's a distressed property, it now becomes a headache for them. So one of the best ways that you can get a great deal in real estate is negotiate into where you can solve a problem for the seller. In this particular case, we're taking the problem that they don't want, the problem child. They've racked up city violations, the fire marshals on top of them. They're losing money left and right. You're gonna solve a problem. While you're solving their problem, it's real estate, right? We're gonna make a pretty big profit if we put the business plan together. But to negotiate, I was able to solve their problem and take that issue off their hands, and now it becomes my issue. But then now my issue, I now make a profit off of it, right? If, like I said, if I get the business plan together. So those are the three key main ingredients on how I think of negotiating like a pro. Obviously, there's tons of other ways that you can negotiate and learn how to negotiate, but these are the three key things, okay? Like I said, if you like the channel, please subscribe to the channel and hit the likes buttons. Thanks, guys.